Ready.
Here we go then. Okay. Hey, this is Eric Hunkard, Front Row Report, and today I have the very, very distinct pleasure to be sitting here with Mr. Of course I did,
man. So much.
No,
Mr.
no,
Steve Whiteman.
No.
Close enough.
I'll get it. I gotta get it right, buddy. Don't worry. You guys have been around forever. Started out as shoes. Yeah, in the 70s. Ended up as Kix. My first inkling of you was a trip down to Myrtle Beach or Maryland in the 80s, right around the time that the second album came out. I kept hearing Body Talk on the radio.
Yeah, our favorite.
Yeah, I know. But my first exposure to you nonetheless. Let's backtrack just a little bit here from the present. The new album, first of all, what kind of prompted you guys to get back together, leading to the live album with Frontiers, and then coming up on the new album, In Your Face?
It probably started when my band, Funny Money.
Love Funny Money.
When the original members, three of the original members decided to move on.
Okay.
And I was out recruiting, and I was lucky enough to get Mark Schenker in the band. And then a year later, I got Jimmy in the band.
Great.
So it was me and Mark and Jimmy, and Funny Money was playing some Kix stuff. So a local promoter got this big idea. Let's see if we can't plug Ronnie and Brian into this and do some regional shows, just to, do some reunion shows. And we did it, and it was an overwhelming success. And we did that for several years, just in our little comfort zone, Central PA, Washington, Baltimore.
Right.
And we would do it like 6 shows a year. And that just led to people hearing about it and getting off on it. And we got this call one day from an agent named Sullivan Big from Big Time Entertainment.
Okay.
Had me on the phone for 3 days trying to convince me that he could get Kix back out into the limelight. And I said, "You're out of your fucking mind. Nobody gives a shit. Trust me."
We do.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't buy into it. So he got us on Rocklahoma.
Awesome.
And it was the first big show we had played out of our comfort zone. And there was like 20,000 screaming people in a downpour. And it just opened our eyes wide open. And it just started to evolve from that. So we started getting more festivals, playing more casinos, fly dates, you call them, playing all over the country, and even spreading out in our area, going back up into New York, Connecticut, and Philadelphia, and down to South Carolina. So we just decided, okay, people like us again. We're cool again. So let's start playing more. And we did.
Cool. The new album, In Your Face, fantastic. I see that you're actually leading off with one of my favorite songs from the album tonight. So,
cool.
How's the response been, and how's the response been to the new songs live?
It's been amazing, and I say that because everybody's supposed to say that. Oh, it's been great, but it really has been good. I think enough people, the diehard fans, bought it, and the ones that come out to the shows that haven't heard it yet, I think like it, and then we start to see spikes in sales when we leave town. So people are listening, which is important. People ain't going to buy it unless they hear it. If they give it a chance. So people are giving it a chance, and luckily the band's still in top form that we can present them well, and so far so good, no complaints.
Cool. How was it this time working as a unit? Because usually it would seem like Donnie was the predominant writer. So, yeah, unfortunately, and I hate to bring up the name.
That's all right. I'm kidding.
How was it this time going in there as a unit and actually just really feeling the vibe off of one another?
I use this word a lot, but it was liberating.
Oh, I bet.
It was the first time ever as 5 guys locked in a room with the producer that we could actually... We had an idea of the songs that we were going to work on when we got Taylor Rhodes involved into the concept.
How was it working with Taylor again?
Taylor was great. Taylor was great back in the day. Him and Donnie wrote a lot of good songs together, and he co-produced a couple of our records. So we thought having somebody with his experience and background with the band, he would lead us in that direction that Kix fans would expect, and he did. I mean, we all threw all of our songs into a pile, and we let him pick them out. And he picked like 12 of the songs that he felt sounded the most like Kix, and then we locked ourselves in a room for 4 or 5 days and came out with Rock Your Face Off.
It had to be great, too, just being able to work in Mark's home studio without the pressure of labels and everything breathing down your neck and telling you what had to be what.
It was so calming, and it was so nice that Jimmy had ideas, he could invite him in, and if I had ideas to change something Mark did, or whatever we did, it was wide open, and all ideas were on the table, and all ideas were taken serious, and all ideas were tried. So, and back in the day, that never happened. It was his way or the highway.
Right.
So it's a lot different and a lot more liberating and a hell of a lot more fun.
Cool. Touching just a little bit on the past, can you tell me just a little bit, other than there's obvious friction, kind of what ultimately led to the demise and then the start of Funny Money, because I'd like to touch on that as well.
Well, when we put out Hot Wire, after following the biggest album of our lives, we were expecting to continue on that wave and ride that wave and possibly go higher. That's when the grunge thing took over. And us and our whole genre just got flushed. I mean, the whole genre was gone. And we realized that it was time to move on from Atlantic Records, so we went with CMC Records and put out our last effort with which we called Show Business. But basically, there was a new party in town, and we weren't invited anymore. We went from playing arenas down to playing clubs, down to playing, we called them French fry stands. I mean, it was so bad that we could hardly make a living at it anymore. So we knew it was time to call it a day. So in '95 we played our last show, and we thought if things would improve in a year, if radio would come back and this music would not be flushed any longer, but it never did. So I still needed to rock, so I started Funny Money a year later.
Fantastic.
So it wasn't a planned breakup, it was just that the whole music genre changed, the whole music scene changed, and like I say, we weren't invited anymore.
Well, speaking as a fan of everything that you've done up till now, the last Funny Money album in particular, Stick It,
was great.
Yeah, to me, and I hope this doesn't come off wrong, but to me that was like the greatest Kix album never recorded.
Really?
And I thought to myself, if fans could hear this, they would lose their mind.
It's ironic because Bo Hill mixed that record. Bo Hill, and he did Midnight Dynamite, and Bo called us up and said, why don't we call this thing Kix so more people will buy it? And I'm like, I can't do that. Not without Ronnie and Brian on there. Right. But they all tried to talk me into it, and I'm like, I can't do that. But you're right, the great record. Rob Galvin was essential in coming up with a lot of stuff. Mark was essential, and of course, that was my writing project. That finally liberated me to go, you can write songs.
So working, having Jimmy and Mark in the band and Funny Money, it was kind of a no-brainer then when you guys decided to come back to doing Kix again to just have as many of the originals since. And was there a particular reason why Donnie opted out, or did
Donnie
you guys
hasn't
really?
spoke to me since we had a conversation on the phone. I was going to record a song with Funny Money that him and I had co-written, and I just called him up to say, hey, I'm going to record this song just to let you know. I want to blindside you, or nobody hears about it. And he tore me an ass. He jumped down my throat, and I just let him go. I held the phone out for about 20 minutes and let him rant and rave and just call me every fucking name in the book. And after he was done ranting, I said, I'm really sorry you feel like that. But I used to have a lot of respect for you. We're done. That's the only time I ever spoke to him. And I've never seen him. I just hear through the grapevine that he hates all of us and wants nothing to do with Kix or anything that had to do with Kix. So he's got a major burr up his ass, and that's his problem.
What a shame. That's a great legacy to not want a part of. Oh well, whatever.
He hates everybody.
That's
he really
all right.
does. He hates everybody.
You spoke of Midnight Dynamite. Are you of the opinion, like most of your fans, that album should have been a monster?
It should have been a motherfucker.
Was it all that Atlantic dropped the ball?
Yes.
What happened?
Atlantic dropped the ball. There's no other reason why that record didn't do well. Atlantic come out. That was about the point where MTV was starting to get, that could make or break a band. So they finally put some money into a video, which was Cold Shower. And for whatever reason, it didn't catch on. Radio didn't play it, and MTV played it a little bit, but it just wasn't to be. And once they sink a lot of money into something and it doesn't take off, pull the plug. So that's when we took it upon ourselves to go, okay, fuck this label, they don't get it. So we took all of our East Coast bar money that we would make, and we start going to Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, and we just start covering the country. Go back home, get the pot filled back up, go back out on the road. We went to LA, went to Texas, we went all over the country and supported ourselves. The record company gave us nothing. So by the time we were ready to do Blow My Fuse, we had amassed a much larger following, and it showed because the initial reaction of that album when it came out, it blew up because people knew who we were finally. So I still give them absolutely no credit. We took it upon ourselves to get the word out on our own, and we had friends help us. The guys in Poison got us hooked up with some LA rooms, and it was just through our relentless pursuit of saying, hey, we're fucking good.
Well, they had to be kicking themselves in the ass.
Yeah.
Because the album was huge. Don't Close Your Eyes, obviously, is a huge song for you. It being a ballad, do you think that helped to hurt you? Or do you think it didn't matter at all?
We never wanted to be considered a ballad band.
Because, you guys are like a rock and AC/DC band.
Exactly. But that's all radio would play. We put out Cold Blood first. That did okay. I mean, it got us. It did better on MTV than on radio.
Right.
Then we put out Blow My Fuse, and again, better on MTV than on radio. Then I believe they were done with it. And we were touring with Great White at the time. Great White's manager also managed Guns N' Roses. We come off stage after playing Don't Close Your Eyes, and he stopped us and said, why hasn't Atlantic put that out as a single? And we said, we don't know.
Wow.
And he called Doug Morris, the president of Atlantic Records, the next day and said, you're sitting on a monster hit. If you don't put it out, the next week we were flown to New York, shot a video, record was out, went through the roof, and then we got on the Whitesnake tour.
Awesome. Now, I know you guys are wanting to get back to the hotel, so I'll just keep a couple quick more to you. First one, I've heard that you kind of have a kind of odd pre-show rituals. Is there any truth to that?
A pre-show ritual? I call it my stupidity.
Is that what it is?
I just do a lot of calisthenics and pacing and warming up and hydrating and pissing, and I just try to get the motor running, you know, get the juices flowing. So when I get up there, I'm actually half sweaty and I'm all limber and ready to rock.
Cool.
Don't get my white socks in a picture. I don't know why the fuck I got white socks.
You're comfortable.
That ain't
right,
cool.
You're
It's not very cool.
right?
So shoot me from here up.
Don't worry. If she gets them, I'll edit them out.
All right, paint them black. Photoshop.
No problem, man. So what's next for you guys? Continue touring? Any chance of yet another album in the
There's
future?
always a chance, but people have to give the new one a chance. People have to actually listen to it. They can't just steal it. They have to buy it.
Well, you know what? It did really good. I caught some of the numbers and wrote them down. I mean, when they...
I know, but in comparison to the day,
True.
I mean, selling 20, 30,000 records is piss to us.
Yeah,
Because
true.
we would sell that even on our first album in our home area. We would sell 70, 80,000 records just in the Baltimore, Washington area.
Wow.
So when you sell that few records, everybody goes, that's great. No, it's not really all that great, but that's what the industry's turned into. So we're just hoping that people give it a chance, listen to it, allow us to play it live, like it, and that gives us the opportunity to negotiate another record. But by all means, we'd like to do it again.
Cool. Well, as a diehard, I will always buy it. You know what I mean? I'm still old school. I was still kind of bummed out when it went from 12-inch to the 5-inch CD. You know what I mean?
I don't care how they get it, Amazon, Walmart.
Just
Best
actually
Buy.
pay for it.
Yeah, or download it from iTunes, whatever, however you want to do it. But if you actually pay for it, that gives the record company enough initiative to go, okay, boys, that record did okay. Let's do another one.
Cool.
Because this is what it's all about. It's about putting out new material. And after 19 years, you know, and finally playing some new stuff, it feels pretty damn good.
I'm so looking forward to see the new stuff. Two quick ones before we go. M3, you guys are headlining this year. It's got to be a big homecoming. How great is that?
Only in Baltimore can we do that. Only in Baltimore.
Still
because the fans are the best. They're the absolute best.
Cool. Any last words before we go for the fans?
Like I say, buy the record, support it, you know, spread the word, put it all over Facebook and Twitter. We have a new video that just came out for Wheels in Motion. It was released last week. It's on YouTube. The only place you can watch videos anymore. But the MTV sure as fuck ain't gonna play it.
God, would you even want to make a video at this point?
No. But we did it really quick in a club in Baltimore called Ram's Head. They come in, they shot
Love that
during
club.
the day. Great club.
I've gone out there a few times. It was just maybe 6 months ago I went out with friends and caught you guys. So.
Very cool venue.
Yeah.
So we did it there. We shot during the sound check, then we shot during the show, and they edited everything together, and it looks fucking great.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for sitting with me today. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Everybody, to check out the interview, go to thefrontrowreport.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, however you want to do it. Till the next time, this is Eric Hunker for the Front Row Report, where we keep you on the front lines of music.
See ya.